Hello. Tree fern, Dicksonia Antarctica. Quite a hardy plant in actual fact. Probably hardy in the UK, but also a very expensive plant. You can pay up to £70 a foot for the trunk of these. So I always take the precaution of protecting these plants. 10 years ago I had a collection of these. I didn't protect them. I lost every single one of them in a very, very hard frost. So that's why I've learnt my lesson and I always protect them. I've now got a collection of 8, ranging from one about this big to one 9 foot tall. And this winter I will be protecting them once again. And I have done a video on how to protect your tree ferns, and I will link that at the end of this one. But for now, I'm just going to walk you through my shopping list, the things I buy in advance, so that I'm ready when the time comes to protect the tree fern. It's October. It's very, very mild. It's deceptively mild. It lulls you into a false sense of security. But one of these days, very soon, as we go into late October, November, December, the weather person is going to give us frost. And if it's anything like last year, it could well be a very, very sudden, sharp, deep frost. Last year we went from 10 degrees one day to -7 the next. And it did for a lot of our plants. And I'm not going to fall for that one again this year. So anyway, let me walk you through the shopping list of the things that I will buy to protect the tree fern. And when I talk you through this shopping list, you'll also get an idea of how I do it, but I'm not going to show you how I do it. You can watch the other video. So, just to set the scene, these trunks, they grow about a foot every 10 years. And actually, although it is debatable, the living bit is here at the top, and there's not really a link between the top and the bottom. You don't really need to worry too much about protecting the trunk. It's here that you have to protect. That's where the living crown is, the living rhizome, the heart of the plant is in there. That's where these beautiful croziers or fronds erupt from in the spring. Now, the chances are, I'll leave them on the plant, but the chances are they will go brown over the winter and die. And then in the spring, simply for aesthetic purposes, I'll chop them off. But that's the bit there that you need to protect. So how do I go about protecting it? Well, the first thing I do is I wrap it in some horticultural fleece, just clothe it in that horticultural fleece. My neighbour's dog's just arrived, so put me off slightly. Little Mags has just arrived. I've left the front gate, and here she is. Come on, lovely. Now, under normal circumstances, I would stop filming and start again, but I'll show you little Maggie. Isn't she gorgeous? She's a little lady. She used to be Simba's best friend, but we've lost Simba, sadly. I'll put it down again. Let's get back to the plot. Horticultural fleece. First line of defence, wrap it round from about there to about there using garden twine. So there's the first item on the shopping list. The second item on the shopping list, simple garden twine. That's to tie that on there. Now, the horticultural fleece is not going to provide much of a barrier to the cold. So the next thing I've got is insulation. Now, this is synthetic insulation. It feels very woolly, but it's actually made out of recycled plastic bottles. So it's plastic effectively, which does make me feel good because it's plastic getting a second use, and I can use that year in, year out, ad infinitum. So that will stay in my shed all summer. And I'll reuse it. Where did I buy that from? Well, I actually bought that from B&Q. I'll get you the packet so you can see what it looks like. It was in their Dial product range, and it's, as you can see from the label, recycled plastic loft insulation made from recycled plastic bottles. So once I've wrapped them in horticultural fleece, I will then wrap, again from below the crown to above the crown, one layer of this lovely woolly, it feels really cosy, but synthetic insulation. The benefit of it being synthetic is it doesn't absorb and hold water, whereas woolly stuff could get quite sodden with water. If that water then freezes, you've got an ice box. This will just let it run through, if any gets to it. So there we go. So that will be tied around the trunk, the crown at the top there, with string, with twine. Doesn't look particularly nice. The last thing I want to look at is 9 tree ferns with the crowns wrapped in white loft insulation. So here's what I've done next. Coffee sacks. Again, you can buy these off the internet. I'll put the link below. I'll put the link to all these products in the description box below this video. I'll also put a link to some similar synthetic insulation. Although, as I've already said, you can just pop down to B&Q if you want. I prefer you to buy it through my link. This is a coffee sack. Now, you can buy these off the internet, and they come like that. And all I've done is I've cut the sides off. And then I wrap that round. Again, I tie it with string and I wrap it round. You can see all this in the video. And that just makes it look nicer. It's a bit more kind of blended and in keeping with the kind of trunk of this tree fern. So there you are, coffee sack. The final piece of my protection kit are these. These are scissors, believe it or not. The haberdashery scissors. They're meant for indoor use with material, but I bought a pair of these and I've never stopped using them in the garden. I use them for weed fabric, I use them for insulation, I use them for all kinds of things. They're very, very sharp, but they're great for this job. So there we go. 4 things on your tree fern winter protection shopping list. Horticultural fleece, plastic loft insulation, coffee sack, twine, scissors. That's 5 things. Hope you've enjoyed that, found it useful. Don't forget the links are below this video, and I'll see you soon when I do a video where I actually protect these. But I'll be watching the weather forecast. Bye for now.